increase your customer value, etc. And so I'll tell a story that kind of goes in line with what we've been talking about this weekend. And I'll go through, this is kind of a campaign that we use for all of our e-commerce funnels. And it's one we're using right now for our embarrassingly successful Donald Trump coin venture, which we joke about this all the time that like part of me hates myself for excelling this, but as a capitalist, there's a market that wants it, and we have a product that we sell, and we kind of use this funnel almost identically. And
can you tell everyone how much we did in sales just yesterday?
So we've been doing about between $150,000 and $280,000 a day selling Donald Trump coins
I'm listening.
to conservatives, and obviously, keep that in mind. Like, this is an 8-week window, so we've done about $3 million in 8 weeks. It's going to be, it's going to peak, and it's kind of here right now, and in probably a month it's going to go down there. Unless he says something stupid again tomorrow, in which case,
Which is possible.
So this is great.
Good business model.
The funny thing, so we were about 9 weeks ago, we were at a party dinner at Ruth's Chris, and it was the worst dinner ever, which I think was like, it was a simple, I'm thinking about this now, like ever since this morning, it's kind of almost like there's a sign. So Ruth's Chris is usually really good. And we sat there and they fucked everything up.
Really?
Literally every steak was terrible. Everything we sent back.
We're all sick.
I got food poisoning.
The game was spoiled.
I got food poisoning the next day, and that night was election night. And so I spent 2 days building out this elaborate funnel and all this stuff for Hillary Clinton to be president. So we had the vendor lined up, we had the coins lined up, we were ready to go, and we're like, holy shit, she's gonna lose. And so I spent the next 12 hours building out a new funnel for Trump, and it turned out to be, like politically, the best thing from a capitalistic approach, because his fans are way more rabid and excited about him. Just as an example, we had one lady call support, said, I make $900 a month at SSI, and I placed a $300 order, and my card got declined. And I think it was because her bank was like, what the fuck are you doing? You're spending $300, making $900 a month. And so that's like the demo. That's like these people are buying tons of shit. And this is a model that's helped us do that. So before I get into that, just to talk about kind of this reciprocity idea, and I want to make this more formal and fun. I don't want to, this stuff's exciting. If you have questions about it, I'll talk about it. But everyone else has had really cool conversations this week that have been more high level, experiential. Not what I'm used to. Usually I'm used to like, if I go to an event, it's a lot of nerds and geeks like me, they're all talking about stuff like this, and it's all on like that same conversation. It gets boring really fast. So just a story from like Ryan Deiss, a digital marketer. And if you're not familiar with them, go to digitalmarketer.com. They're up here. They're at the top of the game in terms of digital marketing. And so Ryan has, in their indoctrination sequence, so they have a 5-step email process that they go through. And it can be translated to most digital marketing. And so it's indoctrination, engagement, ascension, segmentation, and re-engagement. And so the indoctrination part of it is it's kind of what's happening right here. And so the idea behind it is that most businesses today that are marketing, or even just direct sales, whatever, you're meeting in person, you're talking to somebody, you're online, you're talking to somebody, they're going from, here's my cold audience, and I'm going to send them all the way over here and buy my shit, right? So I'm just going to guess, I'm going to do some research and say, these are the audiences that most likely are going to buy my stuff. Here's an ad, my product's cool, go buy it. And so you have, less than 2% of people on cold traffic are going to buy on first time visit. And this stat is taking into account all websites. So that's Nordstrom, Target, Amazon. So if you're a smaller business, that's going to be a fraction of a percent.
Right.
And so it's worth it. Like, it just doesn't work. And so the idea of indoctrination, where you're building a genuine relationship with somebody, you're exchanging values, the idea of reciprocity, you're going to give, before I ask for anything, translates to digital marketing. And so Ryan has this story, it's actually like the first chapter of his book, and basically he knew a guy that was a pickup artist. So he'd go to bars and he'd pick up chicks, that was his thing, and he'd teach people how to pick up girls. And so his story was, I'd go to a bar, I'd find a pretty girl, I'd sit down next to her, I'd buy her a drink. And then I would say after 10 minutes, hey, let's go outside, I smoke a cigarette. So they go outside, he says, I want to go outside and dance. They go outside and dance. Well, let's go over here and chat a little bit. And what he's doing subconsciously is building a relationship of trust and almost somewhat like dependence and authenticity, because you're following that person around. So even if you don't think of it and you're not conscious of it, deep down, you're trusting that, but you're following that person around. They're suggesting something, and you're saying, sure, let's go outside, let's go here. And they're micro commitments. So not big commitments, not give me $1,000 today. It's follow me out here, right? And that makes asking for $1,000 on the road or asking to go out for another date or whatever it might be a lot easier. And so he does it with all his emails. So any email that goes out when you come into their email list, instead of selling, you're pitching anything. It says, hey, this is Ryan, or for us, hey, this is Max or Kevin, and I want to thank you for joining my email list. Here's what you can expect the next few weeks. We're going to send you this really kick-ass thing. We're going to send you this. We're going to email you 3 times a week. P.S. Tomorrow, check your email because I'm going to send you a really cool gift. So make sure you open the gift. It's going to have this in the subject line. And then it says, P.P.S. Take 1 minute and follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. And so he's taking that idea, like following people around in a physical nature, and bringing it online. And so by going to different places and taking micro events and saying, I'm going to follow you on Facebook, I'm going to like you on Instagram, you're starting to build that relationship, right? So it's just an interesting story that has really stuck with me since I've known Digital Marketer and Ryan and those guys. And it kind of translates to everything we do, right? So I'll walk through this real quick. And then I know like a lot of people on the board over there had a lot of like marketing related questions, especially when it comes to ClickFunnels, Infusionsoft, Shopify, e-commerce, whatever it is. And that's stuff we do all day, every day, and I'm obsessed with it. And so I'd love to answer like questions, let's just chat about things, and I'll talk through anything you guys want. And I want to make it more conversational because I don't like just like talking. Because it's really hard for me to gauge if people are just shaking their head and saying, yeah, I got it. And deep down I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about, right? Like, I just stop. Like, it's just too much. Just go back 10 steps.
So what's this?
Great. So yeah, this is what I'm going to walk through. So starting over here, I mean, the thing people get wrong with Facebook is they assume that advertising on Facebook is putting up a post and boosting it to friends and fans, right? And they do that $50. Nobody bought my stuff. Facebook sucks. It's a terrible platform. You can't make money on Facebook, right? And so they're like at this level. And so there's really 3 tiers on Facebook. There's interest-based targeting, behavioral, demographic, right? And so most people focus on high level, like interest-based targeting, which is what pages do you like? What people do you like? What places do you like? And that's all right at some level if you do what we do over here with layered-based targeting, but for the most part, think about how many pages you've liked over the last 10 years on Facebook. Just somebody suggested a page and you liked it. And like go through that and think, like, would I ever buy anything? If maybe I liked Nickelodeon 5 years ago, or Slightly Stupid 5 years ago, and now I get an ad for a concert. I'm like, I don't really like them anymore. I like them by accident. That would be their targeting option, and it's pretty useless, right? So we focus most of our targeting on behavior and demographic. The cool thing about Facebook is they're pulling in so much data, either internally or externally, in terms of like what you're buying, how you're buying it, and when you're buying it. So things like we're doing a campaign with 3M right now, and so we're doing a lot of targeting on purchase-based targeting. So people that buy high-end home decor. So they shop at Pottery Barn and Crate & Barrel based on their credit card purchases. And they buy home renovation stuff. So they go shop at Home Depot. And these are based on credit card purchases that are above the average. So this is like people that actually on a daily basis are buying this stuff. They don't just like it, they buy it, which is way more relevant for us than interest-based targeting. Mm-hmm. And then demographic stuff. So what's your income level? What's your net worth? What are your liquidable assets? Do you have investable assets? What are they? How many lines of credit do you have? That's all stuff.
Know that part.
So they pull in from Nielsen, Gartner, Epsilon. I mean, they have a lot of third-party partners they work with, and they also have a lot of internal research they do.
Is it pretty reliable?
It's very reliable. I mean, when we do
There's a lot of public databases.
when we do so, and this is another thing. So from a business standpoint, fucking love this. This is great, right? From a personal standpoint, it scares the shit out of me.
Right.
Because the stuff that I can target you by, I know that they're pulling that data on me, and it does scare the shit out of me. But from a business standpoint, it's awesome.
I feel like you and I already talked about this, but like, what are you using? Are you using Power Editor, or like, what do you?
Yes, that's a question I get a lot. We've used Adderall, AdSpread, all the tools out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like a purist. I just love Power Editor, and that's our account's whitelisted, so we get to test a lot of cool stuff that's only in there. It's not accessible through the API yet to third parties. So we just use Power Editor.
Okay.
It just works. It's great for me to scale and do a lot of A/B testing. It's super easy to bulk create 30 audiences and variant test, but AdEspresso is great. There's a lot of great tools out there. So if you're getting started and they have some interesting user interfaces that make it a lot easier, yeah.
What would you recommend for everybody here for like if they're just getting started and want to like fuck around with it themselves?
This is what I recommend for everybody. This is why I showed Sheng from 3M, which came in. I said, just like spend 20 minutes going into your audiences and just like typing in shit into the ad set. So there's a campaign level, there's an ad set level, and there's ad level. The ad sets are all the cool shit happens because that's where you do the targeting. That's where you can put in the audiences, and you can just type shit in there. Like, and you'll see stuff come up, and you'll be like, oh shit, I can target by that. And you can just do drop-downs. So there's like 2,000 plus predetermined options in here, from how old your home is, how much your home's worth, how much money do you make, how much you, all that stuff's already in there, and you can just view that. And I'm a nerd, and so I actually made a Google sheet that has all of them, and pulled them like a year ago. So I would just play around with it. That's how I learned everything. Yeah.
And just something else for you guys, they just came out with the Facebook Blueprint certification,
Blueprint's
which
great.
is a great like self e-learning tool
Yeah,
to take
free
you through
tool.
the basics,
Yeah, Blueprint's great. If you want to go to the next level, so
Yeah.
you know, the way I've assumed, like everything I do, there's always somebody smarter and better than me that does it, right? So somebody like John Loomer, who's just a rock star Facebook ad guy.
Yeah.
I read all the stuff. Something like Ezra Firestone, we buy all the
Yeah.
video courses. And so that's the other thing that bothers me with a lot of digital marketers, is they have this assumption that like I'm the best, I know everything, and they stop learning and stop pushing. And in this world, like they're literally testing new shit on a weekly basis. And if you don't live it and constantly disperse like where you're getting information from, you're gonna fall behind. You're gonna be obsolete in like a few months, even if you're crushing it today. And so, you know, Ezra Firestone's great, John Loomer's great. So if you're looking for great free resources or paid resources, they both have it.
Wait, can you repeat those names?
Yeah, Ezra
He did Smart Marketing.
Firestone,
Yeah, Smart Marketers.
and then John Loomer. They both have great stuff. So I mean, this is where we do most of our like first touch point ads. That's what FTP stands for. So first touch point is like, this person has never heard of my brand before, my product before. Totally cold traffic. The goal is to get to here with everything. So Facebook allows you to take source data. So all your buyers, anybody that's viewed your videos, people that have added the cart, like your page, and either directly retarget them, which means like show them an ad, or create an audience. So you can take, you know, let's say you have 1,000 customers, but that's not a lot of people for you to advertise to, right? I need a bigger audience. So with lookalikes, you can turn that into 2 to 10 million. And so what Facebook's essentially going to do is they're going to look through all 1,000 of these people, find all their data, everything they have on them, and they're going to show you 2 million people on Facebook that most closely match those people, but have never heard of before.
So they're an FTP. You're gonna.
They're a great starting point. And so most of our stuff for Trump coins, for example, we don't do any of this anymore. Like he started with this, everything now is here because there's so much traffic and so many customers, so many video views that our lookalikes are so strong. And
So are you doing that with a pixel or an email list, or like what do you, what's
so
your basic
either a pixel, and so just to step back, and obviously anything I say too, just raise your hand and say, what the fuck is that? Or don't even raise your hand, just say it. So a pixel is a piece of code that you can install on your website. Most popular platforms now, like Shopify, are awesome. They're awesome for like the average person. I used to make a lot of money installing pixels, and then Shopify added like a button that you could just drop in your pixel ID and it'll install it for you, which is great for everybody. But it took away some easy money. So the pixel you can install and it tracks everything. So there's a bunch of standard events in terms of purchase, add to cart, registration, search, so some core events, leads that you can track, and then those go into audiences on Facebook. So audiences are like buckets that you can then segment and advertise to going forward. And so lookalikes are either based on pixel data or CRM-based data. So if I want to upload an Excel sheet in there, if I want to upload an email list, I want to connect MailChimp,
Fuck yeah.
you can put that in there, and then either directly retarget those people, or do lookalikes and have a fresh audience to target. So just keep moving through this.
Is there a minimum number that you need? Like, I have a small list of people on my email list of like 400.
In the lookalike, it's typically 1,000. Every now and then you might I found flaws in the system where they
Got
We'll
Hillary
do
people
it.
in there.
no, not from that. I just mean from source sizes and be able to do some retargeting. They have warnings that they put up, like your audience is too small, but that doesn't actually impact anything. You can still upload and they can still process and run retargeting. So it really depends. But yeah, you probably would be over 1,000 for almost anything to have it be useful. So this is like a huge selling point for what we do and why I think what we do is really important and valuable. Most businesses are going from there to there, and it just doesn't work. You're going to spend a lot of money, and you're just sending all your traffic to buy something. What we do here is we'll figure out, what's our product, and what's the problem that it's solving, right? So why did we make this product? What's the point of it, right?
That's where I live.
And then what we take is content. So let's say, Alex, you're running a mastermind event, and you could just sell people straight, like, this is my event, I'm going to teach you how to be a better coach, I'm going to give you you all these skills. Or you could figure out, why am I doing that? And let me create a list, let me create a quick video or something that agitates a problem. Not pitching, pure value. So here's 6 reasons why going to a mastermind this year, it's gonna make your life, or whatever it might be. Create an article, turn that article into a video, because video is crushing right now on Facebook. So native videos are huge. Facebook wants videos, so the more video you put in there, the better you perform. And then basically create custom audiences. So if you watch 75-95% of that video, we assume you're pretty interested in what we're selling. And so we'll offer you the solution, and we'll direct you to the product page. If you view only 50%, we'll retarget you with like a single image ad that then pushes back to the article, because maybe they just watched the video but didn't click through the article. And if they read the article, then we'll push you along. If they don't do any of that, not relevant. Just they'll drop out of the funnel, right? And every point of this step, people are going to drop out. You're going to be left with a very small number at the end.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? So if they watch 75% of the video, you take them where?
Yeah, so there's 3 audiences right here. 95% video view, 75%, and 50%. So if they watch any of these 2 buckets, they then get retargeted with another ad that then offers the solution to further agitate the problem here.
So it's just like before they click, so you're saying that the first video doesn't actually even have the website?
It will have a link. So what we do is we do a video view-based ad. So there's no, like, if you see a lot of ads on Facebook with a video, it'll have like a little box here with like a headline.
Yeah.
We just upload trays of video with no call to action. And in the solution, you might put like down here, like the link. And if they click through to that, then they still go there. So if they do both, they still go along. If they only watch 95%, they still go along. If they go to this page, they move along. But if they're in this bucket, we're not going to hit them with this ad. We're going to go along to that one.
And then the solution itself, that's not your product page. That's like a separate landing page?
It can be either. So for like a straight e-commerce site where you're selling a lot of products, it can be a product page, it can be a collection page. If you're selling like a mastermind or something, you probably want to go to ClickFunnels page. Some type of landing page with the core offer that you can really fucking optimize for that offer. So it all depends. Like this is what we do for other e-commerce sites, but obviously there's going to be variations to it depending on the size of the product, the price of the product, the variety of the product, etc. And so there's really 3 things that can happen after somebody visits your site, right? They can leave, they can add to the cart, or they can buy it. And for the sake of time, like a lot of this is, I'm going to kind of go through this because this is the stuff that excites me the most. If they leave the site and they don't do anything, this is your hardest sell at this point, but you still want to bring them back. They've expressed interest, they've watched the video, they get the problem, they click through to the solution, there's some real interest there. So we usually, 2 days post that, will really agitate the problem, like really hit on some key points of why this is a big deal for you and you should be bothered by it. We'll use a lot of UGC. So if it's apparel, we use customer photos wearing our apparel. If it's a mastermind, we'll have testimonial videos.
stand for?
User-generated content.
Okay.
Video testimonials kick ass. If you can do like a carousel video ad, just crushes it.
Carousel like what?
So carousel, there's sorry, this is great. So there's a single image ad on Facebook, which is like a 1200 by 628. There's a video ad, and there's carousel ads. So carousel ads are like 1080 by 1080 boxes that you probably see on Facebook that you swipe through. So there's multiple boxes that you can swipe through. You can do both images and videos on those. And the videos autoplay. So the video testimonial carousel is pretty cool because it gives you like a lot of...
So like a carousel of testimonials.
Yeah, carousel testimonials or product photos, yeah. And then like 10 days post that, we use a lot of third-party validation. So if we're selling we're selling this product called Sleep Sauna right now. It's an all-natural sleep aid, right? And people are hesitant about it. They're like, I don't trust this. It's got, it's not Unisonic, it's not ambient, right? It's natural. So we have some really kick-ass doctors that have a ton of credibility, and we have some really good videos of them. So that helps build trust. This is third parties and experts talking about it, right? Add to cart. I don't talk too much about this because like, if you're a mastermind or doing ClickFunnels, this isn't relevant. But we do, a reminder, we'll do a small discount, free shipping, and then we'll do like one last big offer. So depending on our margins, 25% if it's a knowledge product, and 50% to really get them converted. Because at the end of the day, like this is where we make big money, and this is where 95% of people I talk to, even people that are crushing it, that are doing really, really big numbers, don't do anything after this. So the goal for most people is to get here, right? How can I get somebody to hurt me before I buy a product? That's hard. It's really, really hard to do that. It's 5 times easier to sell an existing customer than it is to sell a cold customer. And so this is just like low-hanging fruit. Like once you sold them, you did the hard work. why wouldn't you want to maximize that value? Why wouldn't you want to make sure that my AOV, my lifetime value of the customer, isn't $50, it's $500, it's $1,000. You're selling, an entry-level product, it's a White Hero video series. Now you want to sell a $5,000 product, a $10,000 product. And so we do a lot of cross-selling and upselling. This is an ad that does really, really well. And I forget who was talking about yesterday about like the personal approach. I think Alec, you were talking about it. We do, it was also Mike, you were talking about calling people. And we do like a thank you video. I started doing Startup Drugs where I basically recorded like a quick video of me wearing our shirts and, hey, this is Max with Startup Drugs. Just wanted to thank you for buying our product. You're awesome. You're a kick-ass entrepreneur. Really quick, 10 seconds. Anybody that buys our product sees that video.
Is this in an email that you send them? Or
This is a Facebook ad.
Is that,
This is a Facebook ad.
oh, you retarget them after they've bought
Yeah.
it?
So
Got
we do it in emails and stuff, but the goal of this is purely just to do something unique and like build brand loyalty. No call to action. We weren't asking for anything. We were just saying thank you.
How do
And
you
this-
know, like, from Facebook to them being on your website and buying? How do you know?
All that's
Yeah.
tracked.
So it's called a Facebook Pixel, and it's a small piece of code that every iPhone has that you install on your website and your header tag, and it tracks everything. There's a lot more, depending on the extent of your site, there's some custom coding you need to go in depending on the platform, but once it's in there, you can at least track any page view. And then you can build up these audiences that you can move on to.
You're like
So this
a
ad-
Facebook
yeah.
Jedi.
This ad had no call to action on it, and it ended up having like a 6x ROI on it.
Yeah.
Without asking for anything. People just like saw it and then went back to our site and bought things, which was not the expectation, but it was really cool. And we got a ton of organic reach, so people shared the shit out of it, which got us a lot of new customers as well. This is so easy for like everybody to do. It costs like little to nothing because it's a really small audience of just existing customers, and the upside on it is massive. And so we look for things that have nobody's doing, so it's unique. And then we're also looking for things that have limited investments with huge upside returns, and that's one of them. Yeah.
Are you able to allow someone to only see an ad once?
Yeah, so you can set, so there's cool things on automation levels, and so Facebook now is doing a lot of rule management automation. And what I mean by that is, I'm not gonna have probably time to get into it, like our scaling methods, because that's a huge part of Facebook, is how we scale ads. And a lot of people can't do it right. So it used to be personal, and you had to do it manually, or like measure frequency, which is what he's talking about. Frequency is to measure everybody in the audience, what's the average number of times they've seen it. So now you could set frequency caps on ad sets and campaigns. So if the frequency hits this, we're just gonna turn the ad off.
Because I imagine a thank you, they only really need to see your thank you
Of course.
once.
Yep. So you can have it, and the cool thing too is you can actually set it so I want to create a custom video view audience on this specific video. And so once they've watched it, I can then exclude them from the audience.
Cool.
So I'm including a buyer, and then I'm excluding people that view the video. So that's another way around it. And so then we do cross-selling, upselling. We solicit UGC, so we ask for user photos and reviews, which we then reuse up here. And then depending on the type of the product and the life cycle of the product, we then know what that date is, so what repeat purchases. So if it's a perishable that lasts 30 days, 21 days after you buy, we're gonna then retarget you with saying, hey, you're about to run out of product, let me make you a sweet offer. You're a VIP, so let me give you a discount or free shipping or send you something free, whatever. Those ads crush it as well, because they're already an ecosystem. If your product's kick-ass and it's something that runs out and you need to reorder, like you guys, they're gonna want to reorder it, and you just need to remind them that they're almost out of it.
What's the, I don't know how to phrase this question, but what's the minimum amount of back end and front end offer? And how much ad spend do you need to actually make a profit in the long haul?
So how much you need to spend on Facebook to get like value out of it?
Yeah, so let's say for example, like if I have a course online and the price is $147, and then I went out and just like started using Facebook ads to invest in it. Like, would I be making a profit from that if that's all I have in the front end and nothing in the back end?
In terms of like upsells?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can definitely be profitable on that. A lot, I mean, that's kind of an open-ended question because a lot of it has to do with everything on here. So your research, your targeting, how good your targeting is, how good your ad is. Are you A/B testing? Because there's a lot of, we don't just run, that's the thing that gets used to. It's like, we don't just run one ad, right? There's 60 of these. And they all have different headlines and descriptions and images and videos. So, we've had people that, especially in the post-purchase stuff, spend $10, $20, $50, $100, you
Mm.
can make thousands of dollars. Like the dynamic product ad retargeting, which I'm not gonna have time to get into today. But like one of our clients was a company called Primal Organics, and they did like a post-purchase upsell. So anybody that bought, now we're gonna show them products from a different category. I think we spent like $1,000 on that. It made like $50,000.
I guess my question is, what is the minimum amount of product or service that you need to have before you use Facebook ads?
$20
You
Trump
can use
coin.
it for anything. I mean, that's the point though, is like, if you can sell a $10 widget, it comes down to your numbers, right? It comes down to
Yeah.
like, what are your margin on the product? What does your CPA need to be, in terms of cost per acquiring?
CPA, okay.
Yeah, so what is it gonna cost you to get that customer to buy something?
What was your CPA for the Trump coins?
It ranges, it's been as low as $3 to as high as $30, depending on the time, depending on how early we are in the campaign cycle. But our AOV is over $60.
AOV?
Our average order value, I'm sorry, and we net 70%. Plus, for us, like, we honestly went into this saying, like, honestly, I don't care if we break even, because we're getting some crazy specific customers that we can sell shit to indefinitely. And that's the other approach, right? So we have 50,000 hardcore Trump conservatives that we can sell all kinds of affiliate products to. And even when we broke even acquiring 50,000, if we can get 20% of them to spend $50 on a product down the road, that's pure profit for us. So it's, you can go look at it as what's like a customer or lead worth to you. Because maybe you don't have a product today that you can sell to them, maybe only one product, but a year from now you might have a video course, maybe other things. Now you have those people. So as long as you're engaging them and indoctrinating them and keeping them in a loop, that's an asset. And so that's the other thing. It's like, maybe I break even today, maybe a little bit more today, you're still getting an asset that you can sell things to and monetize things going forward.
I think we should introduce you to these guys, and you guys should do a Trump wearing a chain of Trump.
Yes.
We would,
And,
that would
sell,
fucking
sell it for $5,000 to them.
That would be fucking awesome.
That would murder.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
have,
definitely.
let's have a conversation.
I mean, with 50,000 customers, if 50 of them opt into that, it's
Yeah.
And could you imagine when the real ones would get one, they'd take videos of it, post it all over the internet, and just be
Yeah.
like, look, I've got Trump wearing Trump.
Yeah.
With a Chewbacca.
What's up,
mask.
Alex?
Can I, or just with the question I would just ask, can I share something on the board that'll take like 90 seconds?
Yeah.
Do it.
Cool.